Dubai is ranked among the safest cities in the world. Low crime, strict laws, constant surveillance. And yet, again and again, its name appears in global investigations involving some of the world's most wanted fugitives, from financial fraud to organized crime. In Dubai, even small mistakes can cost you years of your life. The rules are unforgiving. The system is airtight. And still, when powerful people disappear from public view, international investigations keep pointing to the same place. How does the world's most controlled city become the easiest place for some people to vanish? And the answer isn't what most people think. Before we go any further, let's be clear about one thing. This is not a story about Dubai protecting criminals. And it's not a story about corruption hiding in plain sight. It's a story about how modern cities work, how laws, money, and borders interact, and how some people learn to live inside the gaps. But global safety rankings don't measure everything. They measure street crime, what happens in public view. They measure violence. They measure what happens at ground level. What they don't measure is who lives quietly behind closed doors. Or why, when international agencies track certain fugitives, the same city keeps appearing, not in headlines, but in footnotes. 2022, Washington, D.C. Something unusual happened. An anonymous cache of documents was sent to a senior investigative journalists. Dubai will never admit this. The files detailed offshore properties, shell companies, and financial movements tied to politicians, criminals, and sanctioned individuals from around the world. The documents didn't go public immediately. Instead, journalists from the Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project, OCCRP, spent months verifying the data, cross-checking ownership records, and confirming identities through independent sources. What followed was a major international investigation now known as Dubai Unlocked. The investigation did not accuse Dubai of creating crime. It revealed something more uncomfortable. How global wealth, legal and illegal, can quietly settle inside a system built on property secrecy, jurisdictional limits, and slow international cooperation. Drug traffickers, sanctioned oligarchs, financial fugitives, not hidden in the shadows, but visible on paper. What makes Dubai Unlocked different isn't what it alleges, it's what it documents. If you want to read the investigation yourself, I've linked the Dubai Unlocked report in the description below. Go through it. Decide for yourself. This story isn't really about one city. It's about how power hides in plain sight. One of the first names to get exposed was Dawood Ibrahim. And this is where most people get it wrong. They assume that if a fugitive lives in a city, that city must be protecting them. In reality, it often isn't. Dubai doesn't act on headlines or public pressure. It acts on documents, formal charges, legal requests, extradition treaties. Without those, there is no case. And here's the layer most people miss. Money, property ownership, investment visas, business residency. On paper, these people aren't criminals. They're residents, investors, entrepreneurs. Dubai doesn't chase rumors. It responds to paperwork. And paperwork moves slower than money. Until it arrives, a person can live a quiet, legal, tightly controlled life, even while the rest of the world is searching for them. One name appears again and again in India's darkest chapter of terrorism: Dawood Ibrahim. Indian authorities have accused him of masterminding the 1993 Mumbai bomb blasts, an attack that killed over 250 people and injured hundreds more. Years later, a different kind of crime made global headlines. Nirav Modi, a luxury diamond merchant, was accused of orchestrating one of India's largest banking frauds, involving over 14,000 crore rupees from Punjab National Bank. Then there was OneCoin, marketed as the next Bitcoin, It attracted hundreds of thousands of investors worldwide. Authorities later alleged it was one of the largest crypto frauds in history. Its founder, Ruja Ignatova, dubbed the Crypto Queen, disappeared before facing trial. Different crimes, different countries, different timelines. But when investigators dug deeper, the trails didn't scatter. They converged on the same city, Dubai. Before Dubai became a symbol of wealth, power, and global ambition, it was known for something far simpler: the sea. In the early 1900s, Dubai was one of the world's most important pearl trading hubs. Pearls, pulled from the Gulf waters, were considered among the finest on Earth. Merchants from India, Persia, Europe, and beyond lined up along Dubai's coast. Royal families wore them. Queens prized them. The world's elite paid fortunes for them. For Dubai, pearls weren't luxury. They were survival. Then, quietly, everything changed. In Japan, a breakthrough occurred, led by a scientist named Kokichi Mikimoto. He learned how to grow pearls in laboratories. Perfect, identical, and far cheaper than anything the sea could offer. Within years, the global demand for natural pearls collapsed. Prices crashed, merchants disappeared, and Dubai's lifeline began to fail. Before the city could recover, another blow arrived. The Great Depression that swept across the global economy. Trade froze, credit vanished, shipping stopped. For Dubai, the timing was catastrophic. By the early 1930s, the pearl industry was effectively dead. What followed wasn't decline, it was desperation. Food became scarce, debt mounted. Entire families left the coast. That collapse rewired how Dubai thought about survival. And decades later, when money, fugitives, and global capital began moving across borders, Dubai already knew how to play the long game. What really sets Dubai apart is not what it prohibits, but what it prioritizes. In Dubai, wealth itself is not questioned. Its origin is rarely the first concern. What matters is activity. Are you buying property? Are you investing capital? Are you moving money through the system? As long as transactions remain legal inside Dubai, the system keeps moving. Dubai does not position itself as a moral referee. It positions itself as a marketplace. The logic is simple. If you follow local laws, avoid public disruption, and keep business flowing, your past elsewhere often stays elsewhere.